Okay, so have you ever been in that situation? Like you're at a party, maybe a work thing, or even just grabbing coffee, and you want to talk to someone new, but then nothing. That awkward silence just hangs there. Or maybe you get stuck in that loop. How are you? Fine. What do you do? Oh, and it just fizzles out. You walk away thinking, well, that was okay. But you didn't really connect, did you? Didn't learn anything real. If that sounds familiar, honestly, you're definitely not the only one. It feels like with everything being so digital now, just talking face to face, especially that basic small talk, is getting harder. But here's the thing, small talk gets a bad rap. It's not just pointless chatter. It's actually like the essential first step. It's the bridge, you know, to new friends, maybe work contacts, or even something deeper. So what we're doing in this deep dive is building your arsenal. Think of it as a small talk power up. We've got 20 really solid questions lined up. But look, this isn't about memorizing lines like some robot.
Yeah.
That's where it's about understanding why these questions work, the principles behind them, so you can ditch the boring stuff like, what do you do? And actually start conversations that go somewhere.
Exactly. Because a really good question, it's more than just words. It's like a key. You know, a key specifically designed to unlock what someone's thinking or feeling or what they've experienced. These aren't just random picks. They're built on basically four core ideas that make them work almost anywhere with anyone. First, they're open-ended. They pretty much demand more than a yes or no. They ask for a bit of story or an opinion. Second, they aim beyond the superficial. They're designed to potentially tap into what someone's passionate about, or maybe a key memory, their dreams. Stuff that builds a real connection fast. Third, yeah, they're universally applicable. You don't need to tailor them based on job or age. Mostly they just work. And maybe most importantly, fourth, they foster curiosity, but in a really low-pressure way. They show you're genuinely interested, but they don't corner anyone. It's an invitation, not an interrogation.
That's such a good way to put it. An invitation, not an interrogation. Love that.
Yeah.
Okay, enough theory. Let's get practical. We've grouped these questions into categories to make it easier to grab the right one at the right time. First up, category one, the icebreakers. These are your go-tos for just, starting things off, making it feel comfortable. So instead of, how are you? Try this. What's the most interesting thing you've done recently? It's brilliant, I think, because interesting is totally subjective, right? They get to decide what qualifies. It could be a trip, a book they read, a weird new restaurant, even something cool at work.
And that's the beauty of it. It skips the automatic, fine, thanks reply. You're asking for a little narrative. They get to share something they found engaging. It hits that beyond superficial note, but it's still super low pressure because they define interesting.
Totally. Works almost anywhere, right?
Yeah.
Networking things, parties, first dates maybe. And the key is listening to the answer. If they say, oh, I went hiking, don't just nod. Ask, like, oh, cool, where'd you go? Or what was the best part? Follow up.
Right, show that genuine curiosity.
Okay, next one. This is a great replacement for the old what do you do question. Try asking. Working on anything exciting lately?
Ooh, I like that one.
Yeah, it feels much more alive, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Focuses on what's happening now, their activities, passions maybe, not just a job title. That word exciting adds a bit of energy.
It really does. It shifts the focus from just job to engagement. They can talk about work if it is exciting, sure, but it also opens the door to a personal project. Maybe they're learning guitar or fixing up their house. It taps into their current life, their energy, and pretty much everyone is working on something, even if it's just planning a weekend getaway. So universally applicable again.
Exactly. You might hear about a tough project or a new skill or something creative. Keep the tone upbeat, friendly. And if they mention a project, you can follow up with something like, oh, really? What's been the most rewarding part of that for you? Or any big challenges? Get them talking more.
Makes sense. Okay, let's move into another area. Category 2, unlocking passions and hobbies. This is where we really start discovering what makes people tick. Now, this next one is direct, so delivery matters. What are you passionate about?
Whoa, okay. That feels bold.
It can be, yeah. It's powerful. It cuts right through the surface level stuff. It basically says, I want to know what really drives you beyond the usual stuff. It signals genuine, deeper interest.
So how do you ask that without making someone feel like they're suddenly in an interview or put on the spot?
Good question. Context and tone are absolutely crucial. probably not the very first thing you say, right? Wait till you've chatted a bit, feel a bit of rapport. Ask it casually, sincerely, like you're genuinely curious, not like you're ticking off a box. Relaxed tone, and remember, it's still low pressure. They can give a short answer if they want. But if they do share something, like, say, animal rescue, lean in. Ask, oh, wow, how did you first get involved with that? Or what aspect of it means the most to you? Explore it.
Gotcha. So gauge the moment, be sincere. Okay? For something maybe a little easier, but still in that same vein, there's, what do you do for fun?
Ah, the classic. Simple, effective.
Yeah. It's just a really straightforward way to learn about hobbies, downtime. It feels light, positive. You're almost guaranteed to find something interesting or relatable there.
Totally. This one nails the universally applicable and low pressure principles. Everyone does something for fun, right? Doesn't matter who they are. It's a super easy entry point. You'll hear about movies, reading, sports, travel, cooking, gaming, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, endless possibilities.
And then you just listen for the hook. They say reading. You ask, oh yeah, reading anything good lately? Or what kind of books are you usually into? Easy follow-up.
Okay, moving on. Category 3. Tapping into experiences and memories. These are great for building connection because they touch on, shared human experiences. How about this one? What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Ooh, that's a thoughtful one.
Right. It invites them to reflect a bit.
Mm.
Often leads to really meaningful conversations. Shows you value their perspective, their wisdom. And the story behind the advice is usually where the real gold is. Tells you a lot about their philosophy, maybe a turning point in their life.
Mm-hmm. It works because we've all gotten advice, right? Good, bad, ignored. Thinking about the best piece often brings up important people or moments. It lets them share something that shaped them, which is definitely beyond superficial, but doesn't feel too invasive.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And a natural follow-up is, wow, that's powerful. How has that advice actually, played out for you? How did it help?
Nice. And for something maybe a bit warmer, more nostalgic, what's a favorite memory from your childhood?
Yeah. That one taps into those universal good feelings.
Totally. Most people have some happy memories tucked away. Talking about them just creates this immediate warmth, this connection. It's a gentle way to learn a bit about their background. Quite disarming, actually.
Yeah, childhood memories are usually full of emotion, right? Family trips, holidays, silly moments, they're relatable. Asking this kind of creates a safe space for them to share something positive, something that feels good. Great for rapport.
Definitely. Keep the tone soft, inviting.
And maybe be ready to share a quick related memory of your own if it feels right. Builds that bridge.
Okay, let's shift gears again. Category 4, the forward lookers. These are about hopes, dreams, what's coming up, future focus. Try this. What are you looking forward to right now?
Simple, positive, effective.
Exactly. It gauges their current mood, what's exciting them. It could be huge, like a vacation, or small, like just relaxing this weekend. But it shows you're interested in their happiness, like right now and in the near future.
Yeah, it's super versatile, works in almost any chat, quick or deep, and it almost always gets a positive, enthusiastic response. It just subtly signals you care about their joys, their plans.
And the follow-up is easy. They mention a concert. Oh, cool. Who are you going to see? Or have you seen them live before?
Keep that positive energy going.
Okay, now for category 5, the thought provokers. These are for when you feel like you can go a little deeper, spark a more meaningful chat. I really like this one. What's a book or movie that has had a big impact on your life?
That's a great one. People love talking about stuff that moved them.
Right. It lets them talk about art, something that connected with them personally. Their choice and why it hit them so hard tells you so much about their values, what makes them tick emotionally, intellectually.
Definitely. Art connects us. Right. Talking about movies or books that resonated is a really authentic way to find common ground. And it's inherently open-ended because the impact part requires explanation. You can't just name a title. You'll hear about all sorts of things. The stories behind why are often really touching.
Yeah.
You can ask what specifically resonated with you, or did it change how you see things, or did you check out other stuff by that author-director?
Okay, one more category. Let's inject some fun. Category 6. The fun and quirky. These are perfect for just lightening the mood, breaking out of a conversational rut. Here's a classic, but it always works. If you could have dinner with any 3 people, living or dead, who would they be and why?
Yes. Still a winner.
It just works, right? It shows you who they admire, what kind of conversations they value. The mix of people is interesting, but like you said before, the why is everything.
Absolutely. The why tells you what qualities they value, what they're curious about, and speaks volumes about them.
Great for groups, dinner parties. Gets people talking and imagining.
Yeah, and definitely share your own picks, too. It's part of the fun.
Okay, last category, super practical. Category 7, the situational openers. These are tailored specifically to where you are. So if you're at a networking event, it's almost too obvious but necessary. What brings you to this event?
Can't go wrong with that. Simple, direct, totally appropriate.
Yeah. Let them talk goals, interests, company stuff. Instantly professional.
Textbook, universally applicable for that specific context. Respectful, relevant, opens the door, helps you quickly find common ground. Good follow-up, finding it valuable so far. Or anything particularly interesting you've heard.
It makes sense. And then at a party or social thing, how do you know the host?
The old reliable.
It is classic for a reason.
Yeah.
Instantly finds that common thread, right? Helps you figure out the connections in the room.
Exactly. It's practical curiosity. How are we connected here? Family, friend, coworker, whatever it is. Once you both share how you know the host, boom, you've got an instant bridge. You can ask, oh, how long have you known them? Okay, so we've got this great arsenal of questions now. But asking the question, that's really just the start, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's maybe half the battle, if that.
Right. The real magic, the thing that turns small talk into real connection, is active listening. And that means really truly paying attention to what the other person is saying, not just, waiting for your turn to talk or thinking about your next amazing question.
That is so key. Like actually listening, not just hearing.
Yeah.
Showing you're engaged is part of it, yeah. Nodding, eye contact, little sounds like, uh-huh, or, interesting. But it's more than just performing listening. It's letting what they say actually sink in, process it.
Precisely. And the game changer that follows from that is asking thoughtful follow-up questions, questions that are based on what they just said, not just randomly grabbing another question off your mental list. That's what shows you are actually listening and are genuinely interested in them.
Yeah, building on what they gave you.
Exactly. So back to that hiking example. Someone says they're passionate about hiking. Don't just go, okay, cool, so what's the best advice you ever got?
Right, Don't pivot like that.
No, lean into the hiking. Ask something like, oh, wow, what is it you enjoy most about hiking? Is it like the challenge, the views, the quiet?
Okay, yeah. Good one.
Or maybe, do you have a favorite trail? Or maybe one really memorable hike you could tell me about.
Nice. Gets them telling a story.
Or even, were you always into the outdoors, or did something spark that love for hiking later on?
You see how those questions layer on top of each other. They build naturally from the person's answer. When you ask follow-ups like that, you're not just filling time, you're actually like co-creating the conversation, making it authentic, engaging.
Exactly.
You're showing them, hey, what you said matters, and I want to know more. That's the real deep dive right there in the conversation itself. So wrapping this up then, think of these 20 questions not as homework to memorize, but more like a flexible toolkit.
Right, a set of tools you can adapt.
Yeah. Pull out the right one for the job. Be present. Be curious.
The real skill isn't just knowing the questions, it's understanding why they work. Those principles,
Yeah.
open-ended, beyond superficial, universal, low-pressure curiosity, make them sound like you. Adapt them. It's about connecting as humans, not putting on a performance.
So next time you're in that situation, feeling that silence creep in, resist the urge to just pull out your phone. We all do it, but try not to.
Instead, maybe take a breath. Pick a question, any question from this list that feels right, and then just be genuinely interested in the person standing opposite you. You honestly might be amazed at the connections you make, the stories you unlock, maybe even what you learn about yourself.
The power to start a real conversation with pretty much anyone, it's totally within your grasp. Time to power up your small talk.